Hey friends, this is Pastor Tim here at Grace of God. Thanks for taking some time out of your day to listen to our sermoncast. If you've listened to this before, you know this feed normally features my Sunday messages or the sermons that we hear at the church here. But over the next few weeks, you can look forward to new installments of this mini-series on Wednesdays and Fridays, and I want to talk through the book, The Screwtape Letters by C.S. Lewis.
Hey friends, thanks again for joining me on a special bonus episode of our Grace of God sermoncast, talking about the Screwtape Letters by C.S. Lewis. We talked in the first one about the framing device. So these are letters between a demon on Earth who's tempting a man here on Earth in London, a young bachelor in London, and the demon on Earth's uncle, who's a supervisor demon back in hell. And all the letters are written to the junior demon, who's Screwtape, from his uncle, Wormwood, the supervisor. And Wormwood is an experienced tempter, and so he has a lot of practical advice for Screwtape about how to tempt his human, his man, into sinning and into staying away from Jesus. The second letter is what we're on this time. And there's the way that this one starts off, there's kind of an unfortunate development, at least from the perspective of these demons. The man has started going to church. He's become interested in this Christianity thing, and he's checking it out. Wormwood, the supervisor, the uncle, has some specific words of advice for his young nephew, Screwtape the Tempter. Alright, great, so he's in church. That's not good for us, Wormwood says. But here's how you start to work that. Now that your man has started going to church, make him look around, look at all the other people in the pews, and see if you can find some way that he can feel contempt for them and snobbish about them. Is there someone who, frankly, dresses in just out-of-date clothing? Is there someone who smells? Is there someone... anything that the man can find. And even if it's a lot easier if there is something, if someone seems to be a little bit aloof or isn't particularly kind to the new man attending church, doesn't welcome him, right? If there's something real that he can be offended by or find lacking in his fellow parishioners, that's great. But Wormwood says you can make him assume all kinds of things. He could look at someone and you can make him assume a million different things. And Wormwood says to Screwtape, you may know very well as a demon that person who he's looking at over in the next pew is a mighty warrior for God. Someone who's firm in the faith, who resists temptation. You might know that about that person. Your man does not. Your man will only judge by what he can see, and you can manipulate that. Well, there's a lot for us to think about then if we are new churchgoers, interested in going to church, or even regular long-time churchgoers. How do I look at the people around me? Do I judge them simply by what I can see on the outside? I have no clue. I really do. Often have no clue until I've known someone for quite a while, what goes on in their inner life, what they do to practice their faith. I have no idea what their life circumstances are. Again, this second letter kind of calls us to a certain humility. As we gather with other people, it's best for us to not jump to snap conclusions. It's best for us to think things through slowly and carefully and to assume the best of people. And frankly, it's worthwhile for us to realize that if someone looked at us sitting there in church, they could probably assume one or two things about us. They could come up with some faults and flaws that they could criticize. So the Bible over and over urges us to love one another, to carry one another's burdens, to look at one another in the best possible light. That's our episode 2 of the Screwtape Letters. Thanks for joining me on this one, and you can catch the feed every Wednesday and Friday. God bless, and see you later.